Well, I believe that when you feel like you've talked to everyone you know, the first thing to say is that I haven't. Um, you just need to realize that there's more and more people out there that you've never spoken to, and it's a matter of introduction. It's a matter of knowing how to tap into different areas, different places where more people are. So I think that it's a misnomer to think that you've talked to everyone. Um, the qualifier is everyone you know, but you can know more people as soon as someone introduces you to that person. Now you get to know them. So in a way, it's never ending. But I would say the very first thing that came to mind in what do you do when you do feel like you've tapped out every possible idea and person, the first thing to do is to pray and to pray and to ask God, give me divine appointments, show me what to do next. Like, that's just foundational. And it's kind of obvious, but it's so easy to get into the work mode that we forget as fundraisers who like to be busy and do, to stop for a moment and really ask the Lord of the universe for help. So after I've asked and prayed, then the next thing is I will be more purposeful than maybe I'm used to. Maybe I'm a bit shy and I'm not used to having to really ask people to introduce me to their friends or their family. Um, I will also ask the right questions when I'm at a ladies' Bible study or at a mixed professional event, or going to the grocery store or whatever, to have really provocative kind of questions on the tip of your tongue that will cause a conversation to happen, so that then it would be an opening to talk about the work that we are representing as fundraisers. Um, it's very important that when you ask, start with the people who trust you and who know you, and to know that you're going to take good care of the people that they introduce you to. You're not going to force their hand or twist their arm. You're not going to be a nuisance or not be sensitive. And so start with people who trust you and know you, and ask them specific questions, and be very intentional about how you say, I, I, I could go to you and I could say, Mary, I'd like to kind of take you out for coffee, and I'd like to discuss a little bit about how you might be able to help me in my role, so that more of God's resources can get to God's people. Would you have coffee with me? That kind of an invitation, generally the person doesn't say no. And it's really exciting, because if you just call them up quickly and say, hey, do you know anybody? The first thing that people are going to think of is, no, I don't think I know anybody. But if you can set aside a very specific meeting time where you've both taken the energy to get together, that ramps up the importance of this so much so that when you look at them in the eyes and you say, you have been such a great help and a great friend in my life, or whatever the case may be. But now I'm not asking you for your money. I'm actually asking you for your influence and some of your time to help think through some of the people that you might not even have thought of on your own. If the two of our heads can get together, then maybe we can come up with a list at the end of our coffee meeting today. That would be a list that you would be happy with, that you'd be willing to take the next step with. So you start asking them questions about, do they have a place where they go for exercise? Let's think about those people. Do they have their hair done? Do they go to a certain place to go shopping for groceries? And when you start working at that more specifically and intentionally, generally names will come to that person. But on first blush, if you just simply ask them, do you have anybody that you think I should talk to about XYZ charity? The typical answer might be, well, I don't know, I'll think about it. And then you lose the momentum. But actually going through lists of places that they like to go, people that they tend to see, people that they know, if you have the relationship with them, they will not feel like you're pushing. You do it in a gentle way, but you always couch it under the foundation of saying, this is about God's work and about releasing God's resources to help others find the joy of being generous stewards in God's kingdom. And that kind of a foundation is a great way to then go back to the people that you think you've asked and ask them more specifically to think through areas.